Was geht ab? Alien Savages und willkommen zu einer weiteren Episode. Good old. Lass uns reden. I feel like shit. Didn't sleep so well. Was up half of the night. And like yesterday I already felt sick, which was also good. If you listened to the podcast yesterday, because I finally arrived like feeling safe in my body. So my body's like, okay, now we allow you to actually feel sick. It's safe. And now you have to pay for all the things you did, like smoking a pack of cigarettes. So my throat hurts. I just feel icky in my body, like clouded in my head. Yeah, I'm a little depressed. You know, I live at the beach. Yeah, eventually looking at the beach, at the ocean gets depressing. So I moved my cushions yesterday, not facing the ocean, but facing my house. And this was actually such a game changer to live more in my home. I don't know why I said it like this. To just like, I'm here, I'm physical. So let's take a deep breath. Fully exhale and inhale for the deep breath. How are you feeling? Lass mal durchfühlen. This is a safe space. Everything is welcome. So yeah, I have a lot of things on my list. So I'm excited to talk about them. So yeah, I feel pretty depressed in a sense of, first of all, when I'm physically sick, it's always harder. I think you can relate. Like for me, actually going to the gym is such a happy place for me, and being energized, and I can just like do this and that and exercise. And if I cannot do that, it's harder. And also right now, yeah, I'm feeling a little lonely. Like I watched this morning, you know, the CrossFitter Rich Froning. I have a lot of respect for him. I think he won the CrossFit Games 4 times. And he built such a nice life in a sense of family. That he has his wifey and I think 2 kids. I mean, those videos I watched, they were like 10 years old. I don't know how it is now. But back then he had like this big property, living there with his friends. He has his CrossFit box. And they're all living together, you know? And I was like a little jealous. I wish I would have like a job in the Matrix that is recognized. Like he's a professional CrossFitter, so this is what he does. And this is his highest excitement. And then he can just live a normal life. I was like, I miss having a normal life. Because it's like a normal life, being a normal human is great, actually. I love that. I have so much respect for that. And then like becoming what we're becoming, like shifting in this higher dimension, whatever you want to call it, the new earth is also great. But this in-between phase of waking up is really challenging, for me at least. It's really messy. And I have a feeling we're going to look back on this and be like, oh my God, this was actually the best time. But being in it right now, because it goes in phases, like what phase are you on? Wait, I don't like how this kimono looks on me. I'm going to put it off. Oh, better. I don't know why I didn't like it. Because I started to sweat. So, back to what I just said. A normal human is just great, you know? You're having like your ups and downs and you connect to everyone and you're not like waking up so much, so you can just like live in the system and live your life. And this is cool. And this like waking up thing is really interesting. Especially if you're like us, you know, alien savages, like we go ahead. And this is really challenging. I listened to the Bashar cutout, Going Mad, yesterday again. This is like my favorite cutout because this is my life theme. Again, that we're going ahead. And then it goes in 3 stages. Stage 1, like other people ridicule you, like, haha, he's crazy, he's taking drugs, whatever. The second stage is like you're violently opposed. And this is what I experienced, that people started suing me and hating me and really being aggressive and trying to destroy me. And then the third stage, which I'm so excited for mass consensus to get there, is that it's finally opposed as self-evidence. Or whatever, like Bashar said it like this. So that everyone is like, oh yeah, of course, this makes sense. And then we can all feel normal in that again and not feel alien. But what I cannot do anymore, what is the worst ever, is not being myself. I cannot live a double life again where I like go in the Matrix or something and pretend to not be me. This, whatever you want to call it, alien. I cannot. So this is the most fun, even though it's challenging as fuck. But yeah, also here on the island, the weather lately is rainy and gray, so the weather actually influences me here on the island way more than like in Berlin, for example. And I feel like because I'm so connected to the elements, like everything around me is nature, and it's like soaked up and cloudy, so I feel that. Whereas in Berlin, it's like a concrete jungle. So everything is like in boxes and the weather doesn't influence it so much for me. So yeah, I'm just flowing with it. Like this podcast really helps me. Talking to you really helps me. That like this is what I look forward to. Like last night I was like, what am I looking forward to tomorrow? I was like, making my podcast. Let's take a deep sip. Let's read a comment. Maybe it sounds hard, but I mean the... But I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Here we go. Maybe the universe is testing you if you can stand alone too. On a spiritual journey, often the inner circle of people gets smaller and smaller. Some spirits have the test if they can handle it alone, even if they have a chosen family. Time will show how you will handle it. Enjoy the wild emotional ride as best as possible. Life is like riding waves. Sometimes you ride a wave well, sometimes you fall off the board. Sometimes no waves are coming at all. Be water, my friend. Wow, this is a really nice comment. And I had such a hard time reading it because I cannot read well at all. First of all, I never could. And second of all, I realized like how not well I'm feeling. Like I'm a little dizzy. But yeah, I really feel that. Wait, I think I took a note about it. Being okay to be alone. Yeah, I feel like this is my test right now. Am I okay to actually rely on only myself? To like be a new earth leader that I got this. Because I quickly want to go back to having a wifey, having a best friend, having my mommy. Like during my life, when I grew up, I had my mom. Wow, I always had her. I can lean on. And then my 20s, quickly Philip came in my life, my best friend, and I could always lean on him and he was always supporting me and we were living together. Like then also Julian, like the three of us, this was such a magical time. We were best friends and we were always social community and we were doing our own thing. So I always had that support network. And then Brittany, she was my wifey, so I always had her. And now is this time where I'm like alone. And even though I had many periods in my life where I was kind of alone, it never felt like this. Because even in Berlin, when I moved out of our shared flat with Philip and Julian and Tanya, so I moved to my new apartment with Tanya, my ex-girlfriend, then we broke up. I lived there alone for a couple years. But I still like saw my friends like Philip on a regular and Nico, and we were playing table tennis almost daily. And like in the city, you know, still like really connected. And then I had like glimpses of this. Like when I was recovering from my surgeries, I went to Austria to our vacation house for 3 months, just myself. And this was challenging as fuck, but also really nice because I really needed the time to like, yeah, who the fuck am I? I need to recover. And I had like this, oh, it's just little temporary. I know I will go back soon to Berlin, da da da. But now I'm in this phase again, and they're like, I'm not going to Berlin, you know? And I know there are like many things on the horizon, like high season is coming, many of you are coming, all these things. But also right now, because we're living in the now, there's nothing coming up. And I quickly like wanna distract myself or jump back into not being alone. And I really know at this point right now, this is what I need. I know it. Like it was so great, for example, after I broke up with Brittany, this week or two, I spent with Celine. And we were having so much fun. But after a while, I was like, oh, but I use this now to distract myself, to not look at my stuff, to not sorrow, feel the pain. I'm emotionally bypassing. And right now, like, you know, I want to go on Tinder. I want to, like, this is also why I want to, I think, start streaming on Twitch so badly to also distract myself. I know I am really excited to stream on Twitch. This is like, I can feel it. But I don't think it's the timing right now. And yesterday I was super excited. I was like texting Victor, like, hey, you want to come over tonight and help me set up the streaming setup again? And like, I really want to start. And I was like, no, actually, I was trying to distract myself to not face this void of being alone and being okay with that. And this is a tough challenge I think we all have to face at some point to make our peace with that. And even though, you know, I have a great network here, like Vicky, you know, she's helping me, like I go to her regularly, but it's like I go to her and then I go home. Like I mostly through my life, like with Philip, I was sharing my life. Like we were going to the gym together, we were living together, we were grocery shopping together. And this is what I watched this morning, Rich Froning, like just sharing your life with someone that is on your vibration where you can just coexist. This is what I'm missing, and I'm so excited to manifest that again in a healthy and sustainable way. A family, like my heart is really beating for family, Christmas vibration, where we're not just like waking each other up or whatever. No, we're going the same journey side by side, and we go our own individual journey, but it's just harmonious, so we can coexist and have fun. Like this time in Berlin when I lived with Philip and Julian, and later also Tanya, my ex-girlfriend, moved in and we got a dog, Kiwi. This was such a magical time. Like I lived in this apartment in Berlin alone. It's like a big one, like 3 rooms and one huge one. When I moved from Munich to Berlin, I lived there alone and I was depressed. And then when I met Philip and he moved in, oh my God, it was so nice. And then with Julian and Tanya, I was like, wow, we just coexisted and we were all having our room and doing whatever excites us. Like I was doing my social media, Tanya was doing her social media, Philip was doing, like he was still studying. And Julian was like also studying and doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But we always like had so much fun coexisting. And these small moments throughout the day, this is like where it's at. And this is like what I loved about Brittany so much, because on this journey I'm now on, this alien journey, like she walks with me side by side. And it's a tough pill to swallow, to face the reality that it is not harmonious right now. Wait, I'm gonna adjust the angle. This is a bitch. And I think many of you can actually relate. I mean, many of you, you texted me like, fuck, I know, I love my girlfriend so much, I love my boyfriend so much, but we also broke up because it's just not harmonious. And we can create whatever stories why that is. But the reality is just, it's not the stories, it's just not harmonious. And we have to be honest about that, because otherwise the ship is sinking and then it's not fun. It's destructive. Like you're losing yourself. So yeah, this is like my main sorrow right now. Having experienced family in different ways and got taken from me, and I'm not putting myself in the victim role. It's just my feelings, and it hurts. So let's take a deep breath on that one. I added some hot water in my cacao coffee, and I sweat pretty a lot. Because usually I use cold water, because here in the tropics, if I drink something warm or hot, I sweat so quickly. So I'm going to do a little pause, because I'm going to get a towel to just dry myself off. Because I want to enjoy this. We're hanging out. We're having a good time. I like, this is therapy for me. And I know this gives many of you comfort, because actually so many of you going through exactly what I'm going through. And we're feeling alone in it. Because in our direct environment, we're like the only one like that. So you're not alone. And we're back. Wearing a nice shirt. If you're watching visually, I really like this one. It's actually from Brittany. Now you can interpret in that whatever you want to. I just like how it feels. That's it. I don't create any stories. Okay, back to my list. Add vegan Bashar reel at the end. Yeah, oh my god, there's such a good Bashar cutout about veganism that I want to share with you. So at the end of the podcast, I'm going to put it there. And I already knew this cutout, but back then I was vibrationally deaf to it. I didn't hear it because I didn't want to hear it, because I was still so in the identity of veganism. And now I'm like, oh yeah, this makes a lot of sense. So I just invite you to have like an open mind and listen to it, because what he says makes perfect sense to me. And this is what I was trying my best to explain in the last podcast. So maybe this makes sense. No noise cancelling. Yeah, since ayahuasca, I also stopped using noise cancelling on my headphones. I have the AirPods Pro. And don't get me wrong, I love noise cancelling. But this is another permission slip that helped me to stay more grounded, be more here. Because actually, when I go to the gym and I hear the other treadmills and the cleaning lady is vacuum and I hear the noise, this is grounding for me. Like, I'm here. This is my direct environment. This creates safety in my body. Like, also another permission slip I love is wherever I go, I love looking. Like, I go in a room, let's say the cardio room upstairs in Xantiva. I look at the entire room. This creates a lot of safety. And all the people, I look in their faces. This creates a lot of safety in my body. And then all the senses, so also hearing. So yeah, just to ground myself more, it's nice to hear the direct environment. And then I just amp up the volume a little more, but still hear the surroundings. So yeah, this helped me. Next one is black out. Yeah. So since I'm having like this ayahuasca awakening, if you follow my journey, Like, I don't want to call it enlightenment. It's just this new vibration, state of being, whatever you want to call it, I experience. I have so much respect for like the off button, switching something off, like actually falling asleep and I am turned off. I don't want to be there all the time. Like, as I told you, like, I still sleep and I'm, what do you think? I'm awake. Like, tonight was tough again because I was mostly awake. Even though I was sleeping, I was fully lucid. I was fully conscious of my dreams and I was like mostly creating them. And I want to break. I want to break. Just give me a couple hours of peace where I'm shut off. So now I like look at everything as what it is. Consciousness, sentient. Everything is sentient. And I was like, oh my God, my MacBook. I haven't switched it off in probably a year. It's constantly on. So I switched my MacBook off and I could feel like, oof, this feels good for my MacBook. Or my phone, I switch it off now every now and then, like actually off. Or my star projector, I like actually plug it out. So I'm like, I give you a break. You're plugged out. And this is another permission slip for me to actually plug myself out. Because I don't, I'm always there right now. So I need to consciously create this permission slip that I choose to be plugged out and create the state of being plugged out. For example, yesterday I had a massage. I was at Sand Beach. There's my favorite massage place right next to Naked Beach. And I was walking and I was feeling into it. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm really excited for a massage. So I got a soft coconut oil massage. And really, this is my favorite place. They do it so well. And I was creating the state of imagining a plug in the wall, like in a socket. And I was plugging it out. And this is like myself actually being plugged out. And this is, I think, what many of you already have achieved by like Vipassana retreat and stuff. Because before, whenever I also meditated and stuff, I was still like there, you know, thinking. But then there I actually like stopped thinking. And of course, thoughts come, but then I'm like, oh, okay. And then I like enter this void again of nothingness. And I could really actually rest in it. Because before it was scaring me. But now it's there all the time, so why not actually enjoy it? And I could actually achieve a really good state of that during the massage. So, plugging myself out is great. Getting more comfortable in the void without distractions. Yeah, that's what I just said. Because often, like even music, I listen to a lot of German rap and I love it. And also sometimes I use it to distract myself. So something is there. So I'm not alone. I'm not alone. I need something. So German rap, there's like someone rapping that I like and I can connect to him or her. But then yesterday after the massage, I was listening to ayahuasca music. And I love it because this is the state many have experienced already and they create like music about it. This is like for me ayahuasca music. And I can actually feel more and more comfortable in this state. And not be so afraid of it and not feel so alone in it. Because we're actually never alone. We're always connected. It's just what do we connect to? And like right now I connect more than ever to our four-legged friends. Like cats and dogs. And nature. And the rocks. And the butterflies. And like after ayahuasca, like now in this state, I like see them so differently. Like they're like end level. Like we're like so limited and they're like, whoa. Because what I love about like cats and dogs and animals, they really know who they are. Like we humans, we barely find out who we really are. But like my cat Shadu, she has no doubt in who she is. And she embodies that 24/7. Like all cats, all dogs, and this is amazing, this energy. And then connecting to them, you know. But don't get me wrong, like human connections, this is what's giving me the most. because these are our fellow creatures. We're humans. And I'm so excited to keep being more amongst us. So that's why I love going out and then like, yeah, often not wearing my headphones to like be energetically open. And then talking to people organically, like always when it's happened organically, another word for divine timing, this feels the best. Okay, moving on. I'm on this quest and I'm pretty alone on it right now. Yeah, like my notes are like all the same. You see, this is my big challenge right now because I really know the quest I'm on. I really know. Like it's all clicking. And I don't want to share about it too much because who cares? This is my life theme. And I want to share here more about how I'm feeling, like focusing on my feelings, my emos, and hanging out with you. Yeah, because I feel like talking about my life theme also quickly sounds egocentric. And this is what I like want to stay. I want to stay humble. And of course, my life theme, when I talk about it, sounds amazing because, yeah, I love myself and I chose this and it is amazing. And so are you and your life theme. It's the coolest thing ever in your reality. So it's so nice to just, for me, talking now more about how I'm feeling because I feel like this creates the most relatability, connection, because we're all on our individual hero's journey or whatever you want to call it, our life theme. And it's like, yeah, on the way, we want to like walk hand in hand, you know? So like, how you feeling? Like, I don't want to feel alone in it. So yeah, this feels really good to share so vulnerably. And then it opens up you, like the messages I receive, so many share how you're feeling. And this makes me feel really connected to you. Because like all the woke stuff, like it's coming anyway so hard. Like, give me a break. I don't feel more connected when we talk about that so much because then it just like continues even more. I want to feel more in our bodies and in the state we're on right now. Like in this now, we're on a certain vibration and I want to linger here more and enjoy it because we're actually on such an amazing vibration. And speaking for myself, I want to create more fun on this vibration, more dropping in together. So there's actually an exciting horizon that there's actually an exciting project for me on the horizon I'm not allowed to speak about, and I'm gonna honor his or her boundary. But in due timing, I'm really excited to let you know because this is all about what I'm just speaking about. Community. Yeah. So I'm really excited for that. Really excited, yeah. Then I was like, oh, but I'm so tired. I'm so tired of being a human. And then I loved how Rich said it to me. He was like, what are you talking about? You're not tired. You're just lazy. Get some discipline. Because like, yeah, what is tiredness, you know? Like, what is energy? It's all energy. And sure, like, make sure you're sleeping and resting, that your biology, your physiologically can catch up and recover and repair. But the other stuff, like, I was getting pretty lazy. And now discipline is really nice for me. Like, yes, I actually want to commit to this. I actually want to work for this. Yeah, because the journey is where it's at, you know, the progression. This is actually the sweet spot. It's never the arriving. So, yeah. Somewhere, like, spreading fake news that, why did you delete James Espy, his comment, or Britney's comment? To clarify that, I don't delete comments anymore. In the past, getting so much hate and it was really tough to deal with it. Sometimes I was deleting comments and just keeping it clean. I quickly stopped that. Then for a while I disabled comments, but this felt like disconnected because I want to connect with you. Then I was not reading comments for a while, which didn't work so well because I wanna read your comments. I wanna connect. I wanna see the vibration of the people I reach and like connect. And also I need validation. Like, I need to be seen. I talked about it in the last podcast. So I don't delete comments anymore. Crystal clear, I don't. So sometimes YouTube is buggy. I don't know why it's hiding comments. I don't know. But if you go under newest comment, like you can filter. For example, James SB wrote like a really nice long comment, and I was also only seeing it on my YouTube studios, but on YouTube I wasn't seeing it for whatever reason. But when I tapped newest, I was seeing it. So maybe if you're not finding a comment or want to see more comments, go under newest. And I don't know why that is. If you want to help me with that, that's great. As far as I know, I don't have any filters in of like blocking comments. They use words or anything. I don't have any of that. So I don't know why this happened. Maybe the algorithm of YouTube wanting to protect. I don't know. But yeah, I don't delete comments. Alright, that's it. Yeah, this podcast was really low. Like, I started really low. The perfectionist in me is like, this podcast sucked. Like, this is like, why would you upload that? And then higher self's like, this is perfect. This is raw. So yeah, this just felt good to share how I'm feeling. But yeah, I really don't feel so good. I drank like my cacao coffee and I was like, this makes it better. No. I highly recommend when you're like not feeling so well, don't consume too much caffeine because then it feels extra weird. So I'm happy I didn't put so much instant coffee powder in my cacao coffee. I usually take one big middle spoon. Like I have a middle spoon that is like between teaspoon and normal spoon. I call it middle spoon. I do like one big of those, and today I just did a little of this. Alright, I watched the second Venom movie. I really liked it. I don't know what to watch now. This morning I started some other movies, but I wasn't getting into them. So if you have good movie or series recommendations, please let me know. I love like taking a break of this timeline, and I don't want to like smoke DMT or something anymore to like escape. I want to do it in a healthy way, which movies and series are great for that. So, or audiobook, if you have something that's great, let me know. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. And yep, here's the lighter. This was my turn of the sharing round, and now it's your turn. So the comments down below, it's a safe space. How are you feeling? Open up. This helps me the most. Let's take another deep breath. Fully exhale. And inhale. Today is Sunday here. I'm not excited to go to the aesthetic dances lately because I feel like they make me ungrounded. Like it's a pretty high vibration. I mean, now I feel stable enough, but guess what? I'm sick. What else is on my list today? Picking up the laundry. I was also thinking about going to church. There's a church on Kopangan. Like on Kopangan, there's everything. And I just am excited to experience new things. So I'm not into the classical Christianity, you know. But I, of course, believe in all the gods. And I would just love to experience one prayer, one service, whatever it's called, in the church here in Kopangan. So it's every Sunday at 8:30. Today I missed it. So I want to do this eventually. I'm an experience hunter, you know. I still love experiencing new things and being open-minded. It's so great. All right. Thanks for listening. Until next time. Peace out.
10 years ago, I became vegan out of choice because I decided out of compassion that I did not want to eat the animals.
That's all well and good.
And many areas of research convinced me.
All right. Well, you're still eating the plants.
Yes.
Well, they have feelings too, you know.
Plants. Yes.
Plant might be going, why is she picking on us? Why don't you go and eat that nice animal over there and let us grow a little more? Now, you understand I'm just playing with you, yes?
Yes.
All right, but attempting to just give you a different perspective on this.
Okay.
Yes?
I was dismayed that after 10 years, my health went downhill dramatically, digestive, adrenal failure, and my husband's as well. So this seems to be, And then when I started eating meat again, I'm feeling better and these things are getting better.
This is why we say you must listen to your body consciousness, because you may still be in an apprenticeship state that requires a certain form of sustenance. There is nothing wrong with that. It's all about how you do it. It's all about the relationship. It's all about being in gratitude and appreciation for the exchange that is given to you, and the idea of doing it in the most natural, healthy way possible. But it doesn't mean that it's fundamentally non-spiritual just because that's the way it plays out. There are many cultures on your planet that are generally considered indigenous cultures that still eat meat, that have an extremely spiritual relationship with the animals that they ingest. And the animals know this, and they give of themselves to those people for that exchange. Many times, as you say in nature, the idea is that the herd is culled of the weaker members so that the rest can remain strong, so that the race can perpetuate. There are many reasons why this is a particular system on certain worlds, including yours. There is nothing non-spiritual about it. The non-spirituality, in a sense, comes about when it is done in a manner that is not necessarily as natural as it could be, not necessarily as steeped in the vibration of gratitude and appreciation as it could be. Make sense?
It does. I'm still digging for something deeper, though.
All right, let's dig.
Why is it healthier to eat animals than to not eat animals, as this has been
because your body is in a state where it requires that kind of protein in order for cellular cohesiveness. Because your belief system at this point, being that it is still strongly connected to the general consensus reality of what kind of chemistry you need to reflect in order to survive in your reality, requires that certain chemical interactions take place in your body that are representative of certain energetic reactions, and thus then sometimes you still require certain chemical reactions to be representative of the energetic state that you still may be in, as you have agreed to be part of the collective consensus reality at this point. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Are you sure? Was that deep enough?
No.
All right. What else do you need to know?
Why must we consume? I mean, I look at the animal and I don't want to eat the animal. I want to cuddle with it. You want to be friends with it. You know,
yes.
Why must I consume it to be healthy? Like, it's a little heartbreaking actually making that choice again.
All right.
Because I didn't
Again,
want to.
it's not a must.
Okay.
Ultimately, it's not a must. However, what you need to examine is, why are you having chosen to be in a state where that seems necessary for you at this point?
Why have I chosen to be?
Yes. Obviously, it was a choice to be in a state where you would require that kind of sustenance. So even though you may have what you call a desire to subsist on a different kind of sustenance, a lighter vibrational sustenance, you yourself are saying that you find that you don't feel healthy when you do that. So why are you choosing to buy into the consensus reality that you need the sustenance you say you don't prefer?
Well, it took 10 years to get me to that point again.
But why are you choosing that? Science is reflective of your energy state. Science is reflective of your energy state. Chemistry is reflective of your energy state, and your energy state is reflective of your belief system.
So does that mean it's not necessarily so that I would feel bad not eating meat, or vice
Correct.
versa?
It's not necessarily so.
So there's no specific way to be healthy to eat or to not to eat animals?
No. But if you have chosen to be in a system that generally believes that it is necessary, and you're continuing to buy into that system for one reason or another, then you will exhibit the parameters of the consensus reality that says you need this kind of sustenance in order to be healthy. So what you need to do is examine your beliefs more deeply to find out why you would be continuing to buy into that system. It may actually be serving you in a way that you're not in touch with. And that's why it's important to get in touch with your belief systems about it. Because you may not be allowing there to be a positive reason for it.
Okay.
Once you allow there to possibly be a positive reason to continue to eat the meat, then if there really does not need to be a need, Only by examining the willingness to allow there to be a possible reason will you actually discover whether there actually is or not. But if you refuse to believe that there could be, you will never get close to discovering what the belief is. Because you have to allow for duality. There is duality in everything. In fact, actually, and we'll talk about this another time, there is actually Trinity in everything. But that's another subject. In terms of the idea of the so-called polarity that you are experiencing, you have to allow what may not necessarily be your preference to still be valid in order to actually be capable of choosing what you prefer. If you invalidate what you don't prefer, that's where you're stuck. Because you're putting undue energy on it being wrong, being bad, being invalid. But if you allow it to be valid, it's an equally valid choice as any choice you could make, then you will neutralize the idea of the polarity and you'll be free to choose what you really prefer. So this is your lesson in dealing with this, is to not invalidate what you don't prefer. To see that it actually does have the ability to serve a positive purpose, even though you may not right now be capable of understanding how that could be. So that's your exploration. You understand?
Yes.
Is that deep enough for you?
It is. I have one additional question as far as that relates, and I think it relates to a lot of core sponsoring beliefs.
Yes.
I would like to know what these beliefs are that has manifested this situation, and I have asked and meditated about it, but it hasn't come to me yet.
I just told you.
I can think of many
I just
ones,
told you.
But which one
I just told you. You are believing that certain beliefs are invalid. Yes? You understand?
Yes.
You're making a value judgment on something that simply needs to be looked at in a neutral way, and perhaps even in a positive way. Are you, in your belief system, capable of looking at the idea that sometimes life eats life in a positive way? Are you capable of seeing it from that perspective? That's the question that you need to explore. And that will lead you to the belief, the core belief that you need to discover.
Okay.
All right?
Okay. Thank you.
All right, bon appetit.